Yo!
Remember me?
Oh, damn!
Well, listen, we have decided for the mains to be played in 10.2, both me and Flame.
Yes,
we have
sir.
our classes and specs finalized, completed. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the reasoning. We've tested everything out. We also,
Pretty much.
Yeah, we did Mythic Plus, we did raid testing, we did healing, we did tanking, we did everything. It's 2 DPS.
Everything. A lot of classes didn't make the cut, and we're going to talk about those as well as and why we picked what we picked.
But let's start it off with Flame's main decision.
Oh, it's probably not going to be a surprise to anybody. It's going to be a druid. However, the decision did not come lightly. Also, it's Boomkin.
God damn it. No, man. You said you wanted to play Paladin. You said you wanted to play Rogue. And you ended up playing Druid, which is fine playing Druid. But Boomkin, what about Feral?
It's new, fresh feathers and horns and... Druid is actually really cool. But believe it or not, it was not my first choice because it was an obvious choice for everybody. So I did go through all the classes like, listen, I want to make sure that if I do pick a Druid, it's going to be a good reason and it's not like another class is just super fun. And you know, I did have to juggle all of these classes, and sometimes you know, because of all of this juggle, I kind of like lose track. So it just helps going back and you know, looking at the recordings that we did, especially without played, which made it a lot easier because I could just look back at my Resto Druid experience, which was very surprising, and that kind of finalized my decision to play Druid because I like to off-heal as well, and we couldn't have done it better without play.
Yeah, outplayed is like the best to use in these situations. Like so easy to just have it run in the background. If you like have a huge gaming session within WoW, it records everything for you. Then you can like chop it up, make it in small clips, and then use it. And not only that, we use that because we're like content creators and stuff.
Sure.
But you can use it to just record and snip little like cool moments or you know weird bugs or something like that, and just share it on all the social media platforms. It's just, you know, you want to brag about a cool play you did or some big ass crit. Well, you can do it with Outplayed. Share it everywhere and, you know, just brag with
for
clips.
sure. And, you know, by clicking the link down in the description, you'll be able to get it free, really quick, really easy, and you'll be supporting the channel and everything that we do, especially this video as well. So thank you, Outplayed, for sponsoring this video. Now let me tell you more about Druid, man.
Here we go.
Dude, I know you don't like Boomkin,
Druid, man.
and it's fine, but that's the thing, because I want to play the whole class, and Bear being...
no class. In the raid, he didn't play no class. In the raid, he couldn't play Boomkin. Shut up. I know how to.
I have to be Boomkin because I did set it as a goal whenever Shadowlands, whenever Dragonflight pre-patch came in the last patch of Shadowlands, and now I'm just doing it. That was the reason for Boomkin, because it's fun as Feral. It's kind of like the same level of fun for me. But the fact that I came down to Druid was because I definitely tested all of the specs, and it was very important for Bear to be good because I like to off-tank, especially when we do keys.
Bear will not be good though.
Bear maybe no, because they did buff the tier set, and it actually the last plus 20 that I did felt a lot better. Plus Feral is just a ton of fun, so for whatever reason Boomkin just hits the shitter, Feral is just right there waiting with that Feral frenzy and that convoke.
Feral is definitely the choice to be made, you know. Put Boomkin aside. You played Boomkin before, not main in it, but it's fine. You don't need to play it right now, okay? You can play Feral. It would be cool. It would be a nice change of pace. You can talk about, like, before you made the decision, what were the other classes in the contest here, and then we're gonna get to mine.
Yes, because you did mention a bunch of them, and they're very important. And we also did a bunch of videos going into this, which you can check later on, but I still retain my belief that Paladin is probably the best class designed, and Red was definitely one of the contenders for the spec, and it was not that I didn't want to play Red, it's just that it came back to Druid as well. Red is really fun, and I do recommend everybody to play Red. I was not a big fan of Holy Paladin, which is why I didn't go to it, because off-spec is important to me.
Yeah, man, but Prot Paladin.
And Prot Paladin is...
Come on,
it's okay,
fun.
but it's consecration.
Fun. Shut up, it's fun.
I
know consecration, but
man,
so many tools.
It's good. Red as a concept is good. I just don't like it that they want to nail down that consecration playstyle. I'm not a big fan of it, but that's, you know, neither here nor there. The other one was Warrior, which is always close to my heart, but I did main Warrior before, and Prod is definitely my favorite spec of the Warrior right now. However, Arms feels a little bit clunky, but both Red and Arms and DK, which was the last one that I was kind of going through, could use the new axe, because I was like, okay, maybe
that's also a factor, right?
Yeah, I was like, okay, well, I could get the legendary axe, right? Because, you know, if you're gonna play a patch and you're gonna choose a main, you want to choose a main for something that patch can give you. For, you know, melee DPS strength DPS, you can get that legendary axe, which is so juicy, and I know you're gonna talk about it. And there's also Druid with Emerald Dream. Like, if you ever played a Druid and you thought, dude, Emerald Dream is so cool, why are you not playing a Druid in the Emerald Dream patch?
To be fair, I was expecting a lot more for Druids. I was expecting, maybe some combinations between races. I really want some human Druids, man.
That would be cool.
It in the theme of things.
Yeah.
But I think what's more important to underline here is like when us two choose a main, it's not only to just run around Valdrakken and the new zone and look at the pretty scenery or whatever. We're also part of like a mythic guild, and we want to like push ourselves as much as possible and help the guild out as well. So
sure,
we have to take that into consideration as well. We also kind of like every season we want not like get 3k IO necessarily, but kind of go towards the 20 keys, 20 plus
push
keys.
a little bit higher each time.
Yeah, so it's probably a different way of thinking when choosing a main for us than it is for you. However, primarily I think we always like to look at how the specs feel, the rotation, the gameplay, the effort to reward thing going on in all the specs. So this is very important. Like if you're like thinking or are still undecided on choosing a main, if you are not part of like a mythic guild or whatever, playing heroic, which is totally fine, and doing like plus 16s and 17s, I think each spec can do well in that capacity, no problem. Right?
Oh, I think we've established that through the multitude of our tier list that everybody can do.
Yeah, it's not like performance. Oh my god, I gotta min-max everything and shit like that. Now that being said, I had like obviously I had the Paladin on the board, I had the Rogue, and Paladin and Rogue are like my two besties for all my like World of Warcraft playtime. But I also had Discipline Priest, specifically Discipline Priest.
Oh, I remember.
And I always loved Discipline Priest, and I didn't really heal that much in Dragonflight, unfortunately, but I did tip my toes a little bit with this priest, and I just fell in love with it. It was like my main guaranteed up until like we talked with the guild bearer, and it's like, hey, we're full on healers, because if we were not full on healers, I would have made this priest for 10.2. I just love the 10.1 variation of it. It gets a little bit more simplified in 10.2. No problem there. Just the core concept of it, I absolutely love it. The attunement, healing through damage, all that. Then I guess I cannot make any argument about Paladin. I played Red, I played Prot last patch. I love them. I don't like Holy either, so there you go. I had Druid on the table as well, but Feral, not Chicken. And I also had Death Knight on the list. I think there was Mage on the list as well. I was playing that and testing it. Yeah. But I have came to the decision to play Unholy Death Knight. Because Unholy Death Knight, first of all, that's important.
Gotcha.
That's important.
Got him.
But it was my main contender for Dragonflight, right? Like, so before the season 1 released, I remember
that.
Yeah. And then I started to play with Outlaw a lot more, and I was like, oh, man, but this stuff,
Rogue was a very difficult choice for me as well. Yeah.
It always is, especially because now 10.2 they have the reworks and stuff.
Yeah.
But regardless, Unholy Decay was always a very appealing spec to me, just because of the intricacies and the whole resource management, and, having the runic power and having the runes and having, the festering wounds, so all this micromanagement you have to be aware of, and I love it scaling in like big packs AoE. I love that. And you have to remember, like, I was like super impressed back in BFA when I saw the MDIs with Unholy Decays, and that image stuck into my mind, and I still want to replicate that in some capacity, right? When Unholy Decays would just like, tags were pulling like whole rooms of packs, and just you would see that the damage is falling everywhere.
The uncapped AoE, baby. Good times.
Yeah, it was good times. Plus, I've seen like the new tier set, and I'm happy for the new tier set because they're moving more towards like playing on Apocalypse, so the 45-second cooldowns, which I feel is way better than Army of the Dead.
Can we take a moment and recognize that DK has the coolest looking tier set?
Oh yeah, hands down.
Jesus, they really pulled all their parts.
They nailed it.
Not unlike mine. Jesus, mine is like dog shit. I can't believe we're in the same tier, man. This is crazy.
I've seen worse, man. You've seen the Druid set last year with the big antennas and shit.
Take that headpiece away. The rest is very druidy. This time it's like a dress from classic WoW. Like it reminds me of the banana paladin tier set in Molten Core or whatever.
Higher res.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, cosmetics do play a huge part, but again, when we're talking about the fantasy of a spec, how it plays, how the core rotation is, sure, you can talk about Unholy Decays being outdated with their mechanics. Some people would argue that. From what I was talking with, the tier crafters like, Taze and Biceps and stuff, they don't see necessarily as being top tier, although logs show on the PTR show like DK's really pumping it hard.
Yeah.
Unholy ones. We'll see. It's not about, for me, I would love for Unholy Decays to not be meta or to not be top tier, because I always love playing an underdog spec. Like,
yeah, that's the thing, because I also considered Unholy as well as the main, and I was talking with all the boys, and I was like, man, Unholy's kind of okay. But then we did the prediction for the raid, and it just turns out like everybody's just crushing it, which is probably kind of good, because if you are going to be facilitated to do a lot of damage, that's a nice feeling to have. Yeah, even if you're not meta.
True. And listen, I'm not gonna be begging for PIs and augmentation buffs and stuff like that. I'm gonna hold my own as if I'm gonna be middle of the pack. That's fine. I just enjoy playing this spec. I love the fantasy of it. I just love seeing that big army of undead ghouls and popping apocalypse and dark transformation and seeing the dead magus casting shadow bolts over there. It's a cool fantasy to have. It's basically some sort of like a necromancer that I don't like in Diablo, but I really like in WoW. So Unholy Decay is 100% the main, and I will also try Frost, I guess, a little bit. Not really, doesn't really appeal to me that much.
It's more on the outdated side, to be fair.
More than Unholy?
Oh, way more than
yeah, I haven't played it. Like, I haven't played Frost since, I don't know, World of Draenor. Blood is an interesting prospect, because like when I played Red last patch, I kind of loved playing Protection as well. Tanked a couple of keys with Protection, and I loved it. So I don't know how that will translate, but always picking a spec that, as you mentioned with the Druid, if you have a tanking spec, it all helps out, when you want to make a group.
That was part of the reason why I went Druid. But yeah, I think you'll actually love Blood. It's probably going to be an adjustment period, because it's different, very different than Protection Paladin, but it's very fun. It's
it's probably an adjustment period, but the thing is, it was kind of difficult to make the decision, right? Because here was our discussion, right? We found out about the rogue rework coming in. We tested it on the PPR. We were amazed, right? Now, Flame was saying, I'm gonna main rogue. I was gonna main rogue because I was coming off of rogue, right? So it was just there laying out for me, seeing everything that's happening. I was like, fuck yeah. So we're both playing rogue now. Not really efficient for our work field, right? Play the same.
We kind of want to have diverse content here.
And it's also for the guild. Like, if you're bringing in 2 rogues, there's already an existing rogue in the guild, then what the fuck you guys doing?
It's gonna be hard to get in. For sure.
Then Flame started streaming 1 month 100% Red Paladin. He fell in love with the spec, and he said, oh fuck it, I'm maining Red Paladin. That's it. I was testing Red Paladin on the PTR in the raid, and I was loving the tier set.
Dude,
right?
Yeah, that has to be pointed out, because Red Paladins have been such a poor case in this tier with their tier set, but the next one is so good. It's so much fun that definitely deserves a spot in a main candidate. But
this was my main reason. Right? When I've seen the tier set and see it in action,
and
I was
how
like,
it looks.
fuck it, I'm keeping my Paladin. I'm playing Paladin. Now there's the same discussion. He wants Red Paladin. I'm on Red Paladin. Fuck no, shit. All right, so what are we gonna do? Well,
I picked Boomy because I wanted to say, oh, I want to play Boomy too. But it never happened.
No chance, buddy boy. There's no chance. No. But coming to that point, I was like, you know what? I'm kind of like, tired of just being DPSing all the time. Let me switch it up. Let me try healing this time around in the new patch, right? And my first love always for healers was Discipline Priest since like the beginning of time. And I picked up my Discipline. I leveled up my Priest, just picked it up and started, understanding and learning it. And once you get the hang of it, it really works well. It's really, really good, right? And it was, okay, fuck it. This is it. I'm going this Priest. We played a lot of Mythic Plus, geared the bad boy up, then talk with the guild, we're full on healers. Oh, well, I guess I ain't tanking in raids. So that's a given, okay?
To be fair, although it's not like I really want to burst your bubble, but you would have probably get bored of healing in raids as well. It's not as fun as it is in dungeons, I do have to say. Now, I think it's a good time to also mention the ult. So for me, the Druid is definitely going to be my main, but the first ult that I'm going to go to directly is Warrior, because Warrior is always a fan favorite of mine. Obviously, I've mained it twice before, but I've never mained Druid, which is part of the reason why I wanted to go Druid, because otherwise I would have definitely went Warrior by the end. The only reason I didn't go DK is maybe you'll find out when you go into the raid, but Warrior is actually really fun, and I'm definitely gonna go Protection first. Warrior is definitely for me because I do want to get that axe eventually, plus I really want Protection Warrior.
I was expecting Paladin, to be honest, so Warrior still gets the first
it's Protection, man. That's the only reason why I don't want to go Paladin over Warrior is Protection. protection paladin. Plus, over the last couple of days, because we had to gear this motherfucker up, I had to play a lot of arms, and I was like, wait a minute, arms is still really fun. It's almost as fun as red, but Prot Warrior is way more fun than Prot Paladin. So that's why Warriors alt.
Yeah. Okay. Talking about alts, it's clear I'm gonna have my priest over there because we're gonna need healing in Mythic Plus. I'm gonna have my rogue probably, but priest is the secondary one I'm gonna focus on, and I need to focus on my rogue as well because my rogue is like my, you know, the dude is my blacksmith, right? So I still have to like keep him logged in and do daily quests and stuff and be up to date.
You know what the fun fact is? My third alt is also rogue.
Oh shit! Here we go, double rogue dungeons, baby.
I've tested out. I had a period last week or 2 weeks ago where I tested all of
that's interesting. Flame, tell me more.
all of the specs that I wanted to main, I tested them on the training. That main assassination was definitely one of them because I did tell you that I wanted to main assassination. It has the stupidest single target burst I've ever heard.
Flames main, Boomkin, my main, Unholy Decay. Mokti's main is gonna be Red Paladin.
Yeah, he's actually going to be the Red Paladin of the group.
He's gonna be the Red Paladin, believe it or not.
He told us the reason why he wanted to go red is it was his first character. It's very nostalgic for him to play the very first character he ever made. I think it has to do a lot with the fact that he's doing good damage with Red Paladin, but he doesn't want to admit that. But that's besides the point. He wants the axe too.
Yeah, he definitely. Basically the same factors here. There's no nostalgia for us here necessarily, but when it comes to Mokti, he's a very emotional and individual. And you cannot really make good DPS numbers with emotions, right? So this is why we have a Boomkin and an Unholy Decay, because we really don't know shit on what's gonna happen. But you can check this video out and see our predictions to understand like where possibly could you land with your main, right? I've seen what I'm gonna land on mine. Please, I'm gonna land on yours. You can check it out too, right?
And the video's probably on my face right now, so have fun clicking it.
Click that, click!